at least, if not going back to the 30s, 90 years, to what end? So there are two possible explanations, obvious explanations. The first is the one you often hear, which is this is so heavy that if the public were to know about it, it would be just disruptive. It would be too scary. Like, you don't want to scare people for no good reason. There's nothing we can do about it. And you also don't want to suggest that, the U.S. military isn't capable of protecting the country, the homeland. And it does suggest that. If you can't control these objects in your airspace, and that's known, if they can't, that's known, okay? Then that suggests a limit to the power of the U.S. military, and you don't want to tell people that because then they won't believe that they're safe. I get it.
So the Apollo astronauts gave a moon rock to some foreign dignitary, and it turned out to be a piece of petrified wood. They do have samples of moon rocks that came from the moon, but we also have those on Earth. And in fact, Werner von Braun in 1968, I believe, went to Antarctica. There's all these photographs of him in Antarctica. Antarctica is a great place to take moon rocks because Antarctica is just this gigantic sheet of white, and you can spot the meteorites in the ground. So this is the photo. I mean, this is from what? What is this from? What is the So this is in Indian Space Research Organization's, I don't know how to say that word, Chandrayaan-2 orbiter captured images of NASA's Apollo 11 and 12 landing sites and lunar modules from 100-kilometer altitude. Apollo 12 image, astronaut boots tracks are still even visible. Due to the recent interest in another post I shared, decided to download to view the raw imagery. So that looks like there's some kind of thing on the moon.
It's pretty good evidence.
It is evidence that something's on the moon. It's not evidence that human beings went to the moon. See, we have things that are on the moon. We have things on Mars right now.
Well,
we have things that were, we'd shot things into space for sure.
Yeah, well, it's evidence. It's not proof in and of itself, but it is evidence.
Listen, I'm not saying we didn't go to the moon. What I'm saying is the subject is complex. And it's not even a little complex. It's really complex. There's a documentary called The Funny Thing Happened on the Way to the Moon. This guy, Bart Sibrel, he's been obsessed. He was a guest on the show, too. Been obsessed about this his whole life and absolutely believes that we never went to the moon. And there's enough shit that you go, okay, if he's right about any of these things, it's weird. One of the things was some of the photographs of the moon, they ran through one of those AI detectors that can tell you whether or not something's false or artificially generated. And it showed different images from, I think it was a Chinese satellite of the moon. They said this is legitimate. But then it got to these Apollo images, and they said these have been doctored. This is AI decided. This AI program that they ran.
All the images or a few of them?
A few of them.
But then other ones were found to be authentic.
I don't think so. I think they only ran a few images through.
If you enjoyed today's episode on JRE Plus, don't forget to give it a thumbs up and share your thoughts in the comments below. Thank you.
Well, in an interesting turn of events, Michael Beasley and Lance Stevenson played one-on-one for $100,000. That was interesting. It was the TNC 02 event. And Beasley won 31-21.
Yeah, he's bigger. He's better. I think it was great. I think it was great publicity. I think it was good publicity for both. Because, Lance Stevenson rhymes are dope. I think trying to transition into something else, I think that's great. And I think Beasley now realizing if he just would have listened to Kobe, he said if he would have listened to Kobe, his life would be so much better right now. They say hindsight is 20/20, but when you look back and realize how much you messed up in 25 years or 20 years, he's sitting around and go, I don't know what happened. Because 20 years happens like that.
Yeah.
So the blessing of this whole thing is Beasley gets to talk to young cats who act and look like him, and it might be able to resonate. Lance, hey, these guys have been away from the game for 4 or 5 years. But that 100,000, it's good publicity.
Yeah, I mean, is this going to be a thing now where
Versus.
actual NBA players are going to play one-on-one?
No, they've always done
season
it. They've always done
for
it. So,
100,000 though, like that.
yeah, like
This has
not
been a
like
thing?
that, but
Yeah,
they've always.
This is different.
Well,
Like officially, yeah, sure. People might get together in the backyard and say, "All right,
no. Dr. J played Kareem. You can see that one.
okay,
Magic played Bird.
one-on-one."
Matter of fact, I was commentator.
Oh,
At
what happened that game? Who won?
Magic.
How close was it?
Very. Because Bird has a bad back. So they just played horse. Because they couldn't do it. But Dr. J and Kareem.
Okay, no, but
played
horses.
one-on-one.
Yeah, you can't count horses. This is
Still
No, I
competition.
understand horses is very difficult, but I'm saying one-on-one. Like no one's blocking your shots in horse. You know.
Dr. J Kareem played one-on-one. It was a trip.
What happened?
I think Kareem won. You can just check it.
He was younger though.
No, they was
The same age?
yeah, because
Kareem was a little younger. Huh? Maybe not.
Kareem may be a little, 2 years younger.
Yeah, let me see. Dr.
Yeah.
J 75.
Kareem's
Kareem's older. He's 78.
Yeah,
I was wrong. Yeah.
yeah, they played one-on-one. You can see it too. It was a great Kareem versus Dr. J's trying to dunk on the Kareem is blocking those shots. Yeah, we've always had.
Okay, here we go. 1992 exhibition game. With a final score of 44-21.
And trust me, he was highly upset.
I bet. I mean, he got blown out.
Yeah.
That's literally more than twice the points.
That's what I used to tell Kobe. I said, I don't care how good you think you are. You're not going to be 7 foot.
Yeah, I mean, Kareem demolished him.
You're not going to be 7 foot.
Damn.
You're just not. Especially when the way they played it. Yeah. So they've always had games like that. It's just that the way they did. Yeah.
That's literally more than with a final score of 44-21.
And trust me, he was highly upset. Dr. J's trying to dunk on the Kareem is blocking those shots. Yeah, we've always had.
Okay, here we go. 1992 exhibition game. With a final score of 44-21.
And trust me, he was highly upset.
I bet. I mean, he got blown out.
Yeah.
That's literally more than twice the points.
That's what I used to tell Kobe. I said, I don't care how good you think you are. You're not going to be 7 foot.
Yeah, I mean, Kareem demolished him.
You're not going to be 7 foot.
Damn.
You're just not. Especially when the way they played it. Yeah. So they've always had games like that. It's just that the way they went about promoting it, and as you know, a lot of things were said that didn't need to be said. I'm come up from behind you, door. What?
Who would you love to see one-on-one right now? If you could pick any two players actively in the NBA right now, one-on-one.
LeBron versus KD.
Oh. Now you're the KD super fan, so you're going to give it to KD?
Yep. I like, LeBron. I always think this kid don't really care for me, but which is cool. I don't mind. But I think he's an unbelievable talent. But KD is still my favorite.
Oh.
Yeah.
And Doug. Okay, here's what you want to do. Save hundreds when Liberty Mutual customizes your car insurance.
Are you a cat?
Now this has to be the best way to experience DS games, but first you will need a hacked Switch. Boot into the Melon DS emulator, go to display settings, go to global rotation and change it to 270 degrees. Now detach your Joy-Cons, get yourself a flip grip, and no, I'm not sponsored to say this, but in case they see this video, hit your boy up and put this on the bottom right here, attach your Joy-Cons, make sure you have the filtering to nearest for pixel perfect. Start up your game, and now you can enjoy your DS games on the Nintendo Switch on a brighter and bigger display compared to the Nintendo DS. Not only that, but we could still use the touchscreen features from the DS because the Nintendo Switch is touchscreen. Let me know what you guys think. Is this a major upgrade and better than playing on a original?
So whether you have spider veins, varicose veins, or you just don't like the way that your legs feel at the end of the day.
Well, I mean, she also claimed that at one point some of Pub's jewelry went missing. So he locked her in a room for like 40 hours and made her take a bunch of lie detector tests. I guess until like 5 days later, when they finally cleared her, it was cool. But do you know about this at all?
I heard about it, but I wasn't there then.
Okay.
I came about, I want to say 3 months after that. But I heard about it, that it was like $2 million worth of jewelry and Capricorn. It was at the office. So when I came, it was but she did mention 1710. So 1710 was the Sean John Bad Boy Ciroc office. So that was the whole building that Puff brought on 55th and Broadway. But before that, they was in 1440. So it actually happened when they was in 1440. But she said they took her to 1710 and it was under construction. So I heard it through the grapevine of the office and stuff like that, but I wasn't there for that. And that's another reason I say God bless me not to be there for those type things.
Well, I guess Capricorn used to work for Suge Knight at one point.
I don't know if she worked for Suge, but her and Stormy is really, really, really tight. Because Capricorn is from LA. So she went to high school and everything else out of LA. And her and Suge baby mother is really tight.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Got it. And she also said that at one point, her and Lauren London were hanging out. Did you ever see Lauren London around?
All the time.
All the time?
Yeah.
Really? Okay. Because who was Lauren friends with? Puff?
I don't know where the friendship came from, but she used to be with Capricorn all the time. So when you see people with Capricorn all the time, you don't know if they Puff friend or if they Cap friend because that's how tight everybody was. So I started seeing her with Cassie. I seen her with Puff all the time. I never seen her and Puff doing anything personal. You know what I'm saying? It was always in the studio. You know what I'm saying? It was always those type at the house, but all that. But it was never them two alone. It was always Capricorn around or somebody else around.
Yeah, I guess part of the testimony was this one time when she was there with Puffy and Lauren London, he was having Cassie do a bunch of tasks in front of them. And he was pointing out how they weren't doing the same type of things. And he said, you know, that's why, and he was saying, like, that's why you guys don't have a man like me. You know, he said, let me show you something. You know, he called Cassie over, asked her to sit down, stand up, turn around, turn the other way, walk there, grab that, hand me that, walk back, turn around, go back to the room. He said, yeah, did you see that? You bitches won't do that. That's why you don't have a man.
I can see that. Because Puff is a show off. He want to show off. He don't care about making somebody look bad as long as he look good. And that was one of the things that I never really liked about him because he would do stupid shit like that in front of a girl that wasn't really part of our family or wasn't around us every day just to show that he a boss. You know what I'm saying? He might ask me to do something that's really not underneath the security type of thing, like go get her bags or do stuff like that. And that's just to make him, feel bigger. So I could see him doing that.
I mean, do you see him have Cassie do a bunch of meaningless tasks like that? Stand up, turn around, and go here.
Nah, I never seen him do that. Nah.
Yeah. You know, it's interesting when Cassie, I guess, was breaking up with Puffy, and she was like, who do I date next? Is Jay-Z available?
Yeah, I could see that. Because Cassie was really, like the first time me and Cassie smoked some weed together in Miami in like 2008. I think it was when she first started coming around. And she said, oh my God, I can't believe I'm smoking some weed with Puff Security. And I looked at her like, huh? And then one time I had to get in the club and she said, oh, I feel like Jennifer Lopez. So, you know what I'm saying? I'm saying to myself, like, yo, what are you talking about? You know what I'm saying? So I could see that. I could see that. He found a kid, yo. He found a kid. And he took advantage of a kid that he knew wanted to be a star.
So today we're going to see how many cards we can buy on the Whatnot app for $100. Just joined a single stream here. Going to see. Okay, we're at $11. $15. Could I hold it? Have you ever had a chance where you are so upset with your child you want to sell them? You shouldn't. Good legal advice. So you don't have to go to askalawyer.com for that piece of legal advice. Selling your child is not legal, just so you know. Okay.
Bruce Rivers, he's the criminal lawyer. And what he do? And it's gonna react to all the self-snitching.
Hi, this is Bruce Rivers. Welcome to another episode of Criminal Lawyer Reacts. I'm Bruce Rivers, your very own personal, curated, board-certified criminal defense lawyer, here to comment on the legal issues of the day on a channel we call Criminal Lawyer Reacts. And today we're reacting to Mama Sells Her Baby for $500. What the fuck? Okay, and this is Ewu Body Cam, another channel off of Ewu, and I know we're giving them a lot of love, but we like them.
Well, she said, if you give me $500 right now, you can have. I said, have what? She said, have her. And she put her down in the leaves. What? No.
Here's the thing. If you're out and about, guess what everybody has nowadays? They have one of these. They have a cell phone. And if you're acting the fool, you're going to get recorded. Simple as that.
Never sell my child. And she said, no, I don't need help. I just don't want the bastard.
I don't need help. I just don't want the bastard. You know, it is tough raising a child, whether you have a partner or not. It's tough raising a child alone, whether you have money or not. It's tough raising a child in poverty by yourself. It's depressing, it's taxing, and it can seem hopeless. Why would this woman lie about somebody wanting to sell their child?
My child is my life. I never, ever hurt my baby. And I'm like, is she crazy?
In March 2024, a woman walks into a police station with an 18-month-old girl and a shocking claim. The child's mother tried to sell her own baby.
Sell her own fucking baby. The one thing I have never really gotten used to is, my dad would always say, he was a fireman, and he would say, I never got used to pulling kids out of a burning building. Why is that? That's because we want to protect children, and it's hard for us to see a child suffer. It just is. I remember I was at the mall once, and I was about to call the cops on this woman who was beating her child, and the kid got upset with me, and he was just crying, and it's really tough to watch something like that. And it's even tougher to see the abuse. And I haven't had, thank God, I haven't had any child death cases or, real severe child abuse cases, because I just don't take those.
And when that didn't work, abandoned her entirely. But what sounds like an open and shut case takes a twisted turn when the mother accuses the woman of orchestrating a plot to steal her baby. The following report is based on official police record.
Ooh, the plot thickens. See, this is why you can't judge things at first blush. There have been so many negative comments about me, and I've gotten a couple of nasty emails about about that Carmelo Anthony case. And they're saying this is open and shut and blah, blah, blah. And it's mostly from white people that are giving me shit because they think I'm taking the kid's side. I have to, in this channel, one of the things we do is we look at both sides. Did I do a foghorn, leghorn accent when I was imitating some rednecks? Yeah, I certainly did.
I say, hey, dog. Now hold on, boy. I come in peace. I want to bury the hatchet.
But do I also make fun of stupid people and lecture people who are doing gang violence? Absolutely. They do the dumbest fucking things. They put their crimes right on Instagram. Who the fuck does that?
I mean, listen, you literally described the crime scene to a T. Jumped a tall gate, hit a hallway, ran to the fifth floor, painting out of breath. Should have seen Glee's face.
I try to look at both sides and come down the middle on something that I think is fair. Now, I started out talking about, this woman, wanted to sell her baby. Well, we don't know that yet, do we? We just know what the woman said, but something tells me she's got it on video.
Records, and most of the footage has never been seen before until now. On the afternoon of March 5th, 2024, a woman comes into the Palatka, Florida Police Department with an 18-month-old baby on her shoulder and an extraordinary story.
Bring her some clothes, diapers over, but we didn't. I was gonna. I called DCF to John, and he's gonna be calling me back.
Thank you so much for doing this. I know that this is way outside of what
I'm a mom first.
I understand.
The woman is an employee at H&R Block, and she says she was getting ready to close last night when a client named Jessica came in with her baby daughter.
Both of them had no shoes on. Her and Jessica walked in, and she asked me could I give her a new Emerald card because her taxes had dropped, and she left it somewhere or something happened with it. So I got ready to put her stuff in, and I noticed the baby had took her diaper off. And she was like pointing at her private, like it was irritating her or something. So I was like, oh, maybe it's the diaper, kids get irritated or whatever. And she was like,
Hard to listen to this, isn't it? When you've got somebody who's mistreating a child.
she's not going to do that because I only have one diaper for her. So she put the diaper back on her. And it wouldn't, you know how the sticky side of the diaper, it wouldn't stick no more. So she like hit her. And was like, you just stupid. You shouldn't be there. And I was like, what? So I called the police.
She says she waited until police arrived.
Now, let's just say this woman's telling the truth. Because we don't know yet, but let's just say she is. I commend her for stepping in. If you see something like this, step in. Too many times we just kind of are passive and we don't want to get involved. You know, that happens all the time. It happens with homicides quite a bit. People don't want to get involved. I've had homicides where I had exonerating witnesses. I'm not coming to court. When you're dealing with children, you have to step in.
Arrived and then went home for the night, unaware that her involvement with this woman was far from over.
This morning I came 7 a.m. The mom, Jessica, was laying on the AC unit. And she was in a Dollar General's buggy. And it was drizzling. She was asleep and the baby was in there hollering. Well, I said, do you need help? Like, do you need me to call these people so they can help you? And she said, no, don't worry about it. And she snatched her daughter out the top part and slammed her in the bottom part.
The woman says that Jessica left at that point. Not long after, someone at a nearby restaurant calls the police to complain about a woman and her baby walking around asking for food. The responding officer finds Jessica inside, annoyed that someone reported her.
Because they were worried about the baby.
Because she's throwing a tantrum.
Well, more they wanted to make sure the baby was okay and that you were okay.
That's fine. I'm trying to find emergency housing.
So what's the situation? What?
You know, we're supposed to be the children's protectors. You know, my children never had to worry about anything in terms of food, clothing, shelter. You know, Maslow's hierarchy of needs, you know what that is? You know, you can't get to the next level of actualization if your basic needs aren't met. And that what I mean by that is you have a sense of self, you know, so you have to have your basic needs met before you can get to the next level of, they call it self-actualization, and being the most of the person that you can be, right? And if you're on the street and you're looking for food and shelter, that's all you're thinking about. You know, you can't enjoy life. And it wouldn't surprise me if this is also fueled probably by drugs too. I mean, it's just so sad.
What are you going through right now?
I'm going through a lot.
Like as far as housing, why are you looking for emergency housing?
Because I had a boyfriend who used to beat the out of me and I don't want it around my kid. If you can please help me in any way.
Well, okay, so I've got our victim's advocate coming out. She's gonna talk to you. She's gonna bring some stuff for the baby.
Where?
She'll be coming over here.
You know, just because the baby cries doesn't mean that they're in trouble. No. I'm sure you have kids.
I do. I have a son and a stepdaughter.
I can't even believe this. Is that rescue for my child?
No. They're going to a different call.
The victim's advocate arrives with her assistance, but Jessica is wary of their motives.
Y'all making me feel sorry.
Well, once child protection is involved, if you're walking on the street with a child, you can't protect that child. So guess what? Child protection comes in and they'll say, we're going to put the child in foster care until you can figure your shit out. And then they usually file a petition with the court.
This is the victim's advocate that told you I had something.
No, y'all really making me feel sorry. I got 4 y'all.
No, we have a bunch of stuff for you and the baby.
Jessica settles enough to accept the help these women have brought for her, but she doesn't let her guard down entirely.
It's just right now, I'm needing a place to stay. She thinks y'all are probably trying to take her away from her. I'm not taking her away from mommy.
But Jessica does wind up separated from her daughter, and according to the woman at the police station, it happened later that day.
She came back to our job. At this point, she's yelling at the customers in there to give her money. I said, ma'am, you gotta leave. You have to leave now. She said, oh, I'm not leaving. And then she took her in the bathroom. When she left out of there, I called the police. And she literally pushed the buggy in the road and laughed at her. And then hurry up and grab it. And I'm like, is she crazy?
She says that although she gave the officer details about Jessica's behavior, she was told that it would come down to her word against the mother's, but it wouldn't be long before Jessica would return yet again, and this time she would come with a shocking offer.
She came back. I see her walking back towards our job, and she said, come here, because I trust you, come here. So I'm like, oh my God. I asked two of my coworkers to walk out with me because I don't know what's in somebody's mind. And as I walked over there, she said, if you give me $500 right now, you can have it.
If you give me $500 right now, you can have my child. That's not a rational person. Before we get to that, this is brought to you by AskALawyer.com. AskALawyer.com is a very easy way and inexpensive way to talk to a real, live, licensed lawyer. And why is that important? Where they've trained all...
Matters so closed. She know I just got out of an abusive marriage, and I'm trying to get back on my feet.
And this was Monday or Tuesday?
A woman crazy.
She's only been gone for 2 days. Only 2
Call
days.
me Jessica.
Okay.
You're off.
Today is Thursday, so
right
that
now.
would make it what? Tuesday night. Tuesday night. You tell me approximately what time? 7 o'clock.
Yeah.
7 p.m.
Yeah, 7 p.m.
Yeah, coughing
Jessica
like a
says that although she was
mold or
reluctant at first, she ultimately agreed to hand her daughter over for the night.
Who the fuck would let you hand your daughter over to a perfect stranger? Would you? Oh, maybe you would if it was Casey Anthony. I hear she's doing daycare now. I'm joking. It's a joke.
I allowed her to take Gigi, and about an hour after that, I got a knock at the door from the police saying that I was there from H&R.
The Zanny nanny.
So I sent a text
give her
message,
kid Xanax.
and I said, if you're not
Say that the
producing
kid
my
was at
child,
the
I'm going to call the
nanny when her
police.
kid was just passed out at home with her daughter died.
Her name's Crystal, but she's the black girl with the pink hair.
Jessica paints herself as a caring mother who was tricked into giving up her baby, which is a far cry from the story police heard at the station.
Nobody could trick me to give up my child. Nobody. I mean, give me a fucking break. My child went to college in Jackie. She goes to college in D.C. Think I like that? No. I want my child right here. But as a baby, little fucking kid, 2 years old or however old, this kid looks older than just a baby, but you're going to give up your kid to a perfect stranger? I don't care how desperate your situation is. Unless you're just so fucking whacked out on drugs or whatever that you just can't care for your baby. People give up their kids all the time. Me personally, I would never be away from my child.
I said, do you need help? Again, I'm asking you, do you need help?
Do you need help?
And she said, no, I don't need help. I just don't want the bastard.
Oh,
and I said, okay. And I got the baby. I was crying. I walked across the street, and I tried to wake her up. And I put her in my car, and I told her she's going to be okay.
That's the voice of a mother, right? You mothers out there, you know that feeling when you see a child mistreated. Mothers have a different thing, because they carry their baby for, 9 months, and they have a relationship with it almost a year before us men do. And it doesn't become real for us until we see the top of the head, quite frankly. But mothers have this innate motherly instinct, and that's what you're sensing here. But this is highly criminal for her to try to sell the baby.
Should not go on with the child.
Remember having a conversation
about the kid in there.
about trying to sell Giovanni.
What?
I'm just
She have handcuffs on. She's in custody. Remember, and she better have been Mirandized just before you start questioning. If you're in custody, you have to have the conversation. You have the right to a lawyer, that kind of thing. And any lawyer can and will be provided for you. If you can't afford one, present during all questioning, that kind of stuff. So she's definitely in custody because she's got cuffs on.
No, I would never sell my child. No. I can't even believe that was even stated. My child is my life.
Not only is Jessica's story completely different, she tells the detectives that she knows exactly what's going on here.
To be honest with you, my sister, me and her have a very bad relationship. She has wanted my child. She's told lies to my entire family. I believe she sent Crystal to do that on purpose.
What's this girl look like?
She
It doesn't
laughed
matter.
yesterday in my face and told me I was going to be in jail. So they set this up. Sounds petty, but it's true.
Sound petty.
That sounds like BS.
Would be the reason they would do that.
Same reason she wasn't. She's spiteful.
At the police station, the woman does express an interest in keeping the child, though it doesn't seem to come from a place of malice.
So would DCF let me take her home? Probably not, but I just don't want her to have to go to no system. Oh, absolutely. Being honest with you, there might be a way. I might have to come out and look at your house, or they might not. So we'll figure something out.
But as far as Jessica's concerned, there's no reason why her daughter can't be with her.
You know I don't deserve to be in jail for this. I never, ever hurt my baby. If you see her,
Even if, let's just say, even if there isn't this thing, there is a matter of neglect. But neglect and poverty, it's got to be a little more intentional than that. If she's homeless and walking the streets and they get her some help, that's one thing. But intentionally hitting the child and disciplining the child for what, a diaper? For pulling her diaper off?
Are there times when you would love to have another address or phone number to use instead of your home address and personal number? Wouldn't it be great if you could view and manage your mail and...
You want to support me? Go to Nene Marie 37 on IG and purchase a signed copy of my book. That's how you support me. Make sure you smash that like button. Go right now and follow me on TikTok at Trenches News 3837. That's my only TikTok. Yo! It's your boy Trenches News, and I'm back at y'all with another one. Appreciate all the support. Thanks for everyone who subscribed to the channel. If you ain't subbed to my channel, make sure you join the membership. Shout out to all my mods. If you ain't follow my mods, you can follow their ads at the end of the video. Remember, if you got anything extra, I said extra, not food, hygiene, clothes, bag it up, take it outside and give it to the less fortunate. Remember, we all one step away from being homeless. I don't care how much money you got or you think you got. Mother Nature could come and destroy everything, and now you homeless, so make sure you get back. With that being said, let's say the kids, the women, the elderly, the neutrons, and the civilians. It's Saturday, y'all. Make sure you keep your head on the swivel. Remember, CPD can't save you or your local police department, so make sure you know where your kids are and your surroundings. If you got kids out there, nieces and nephews, claiming hats, dissing the dead, woofing on the internet, make sure you get life insurance on them so you can bury them properly and won't have to go fund me. All right, y'all, I got two stories for y'all. First story, we talking about OTF Brown Eyes has been superseded, indicted, has been served it. He on the case with Lil Durk, also known as Mustafa. We talking about that. And we talking about FBG Duck Killer Kenny Mack says that the feds need to let him go because he ain't even part of O Block. He's not part of a RICO and all that. So make sure y'all smash that like button so this video get around. If you got Twitter, TikTok, Reddit, Twitch, Facebook Market, Bayzoo, hook it up. Live was lit last night, man. Make sure y'all smash that like button. Remember, if you need promo or any merch or anything, hit me up at Swiper3837. All right, so the first story we talking about is Kenny Mack from Dipset. He was one of the co-defendants of MooWop, C-Thang, C-Murder, O-Block Los. He was on Duck Trial. He been accused of driving downtown in his own car. Well, not being accused. He drove downtown in his own car, which is the blue 300C, the light blue, whatever color it is. And he didn't shoot Duck, though, because he fell on his face when he jumped out the car. Not only did he do that, he had abandoned the car after the murder, which was a note was left from C-Murder in his car, stating his IG and his password and his baby mama number to pay a phone bill. So a part of a RICO is you knowing. Not only did he do that, he called the police 30 times, had a female call for the car back, for the murder car that was used in the murder. He had her call for it back, and they faxed over their IDs. Not only that, before he went to go and kill Duck, he told one of his homies who testified that he was sitting on Duck. They going to get Duck. So just hold on real quick. And then when he was on his way back, he was texting check spot news because Duck gone. So I don't know, man. These guys, they at their last breath. So they just trying to get out at this point. But you know, he not Dipset. I mean, he not O Block though. I mean, if he won't try to fight that, but you associate of them. You admitted that C Murder was your friend. C Murder is part of the Rico. You know, that's why it's good not to even commit a crime if you ain't got no real lawyer, none of that, because you get desperate and then you end up, you know, throwing yourself under the bus in the midst of it. Just like Teezy. Teezy threw all them under the bus. So now they rap. When Teezy come out with his, because Teezy is mentioned in Kenny Mac Motion too, that he's not O Block, that he's THF. But he the one who called down there and they got it on record. And not only did Teezy set the wheels in motion, you know, Teezy did this shit all over a female, bro. All them need to go to jail. They killing over female. They rushing. They bliss because Teezy sent them off all over a female, you know. But that's the latest on Kenny Mac. He trying to get out. He all them filing appeals. Everybody from O Block, all five of them, except Teezy. He the only one that ain't dropped none yet. So I'll keep y'all updated on that. But man, fam, you cook. I don't know why he think he finna get up out of here out of everybody, bro. Like, you abandoned your car, then you called the sergeant of the police station, and he tricked you to send your ID. And the car been gone for a week or two, and you still was calling. Like, that's crazy. And Kenny Mac is also facing life in prison for another murder. So I'm gonna keep y'all updated on both of that. He's supposed to be in trial for that one, but it looked like they had put it on pause for a minute. You know, so I'll keep y'all updated on that. But yeah, Kenny Mac has filed a new motion stating that the RICO was bogus because he's not even O Block. And a RICO stated the O Block gang. He ain't O Block, but a RICO is more than two people and you knowing. That's what it is. Hey, next story I got for y'all, man. Last but not least, we talking about OTF Brown Eyes, man. He was one of the killers. He been accused of being one of the killers that hopped out the car. One of the three that hopped out the car and killed Lil Pab, which is Quando Rondo cousin. Now, this guy, he finally got a lawyer, but they just superseded. Now, I don't know why they superseding everybody late and they ain't get the memo, because first they gave Dirk a supersede. Then they gave Didi superseded once Didi added in a motion. Now he got a lawyer. Now they superseding him. So I guess they going to supersede all these guys individual. Or are they waiting before they supersede them? Is anybody going to cooperate on Lil Durk? I don't know. But Boogie has been superseded. I mean, not Boogie, Brown Eyes. And he looked like he don't even belong in a picture, man. Like, truthfully, if you ask me, hey, Swipe, do you think Lil Durk know these? I don't think Lil Durk know majority of these dudes. You know what I'm talking about? I think he just know Boogie. And, he know Boogie. And he know Didi. I don't think he know the rest of these guys like that. I think these guys was picked up, like the feds say, by Didi or by Vonnie and told them to come along and that they gonna get a bag. And dude them was thirsty. They was hungry for the bread. And they jumped out the window, man. They went to go and risk it for a biscuit, not even thinking about, I got to use my ID to get through this airport. You know what I'm talking about? I got a phone on me that's traveling with GPS location. I'm under cameras in California. Once you get off the airport, you under all cameras, all type of cameras. And then not only that, bro, after that, y'all went to a burger spot to discuss payment. Hey, bro, y'all could have discussed that shit on the airplane. Y'all could have discussed that shit when you got back to Chicago. You did what you did. The reason why they had to discuss a payment, though, is because they killed the wrong person. You ain't even supposed to get paid for that. You know, according to Dirk, I don't want the is who you hit. I want the one I paid for. Well, they shouldn't even got paid. It shouldn't even be a murder for hire because King Von was supposed to be y'all homies. So why is y'all even talking about a murder? And that's why I say Lil Durk ain't supposed to be in none of this. But he in it because he wanted to be a mobster. He wanted to be John Gotti. He wanted to be just like them. He talked about the feds until they came. He trolled people like Cash. He trolled Cash, even though Cash was trolling. When you got millions and you got dollars, you don't say money gonna knock somebody out your shoes, put money on people's head and rapping about it. And that's why it came back to bite it, man. Y'all get in the comments and let me know what y'all think. Shout out to Made Media Magazine. Make sure y'all go and check out this page, man. He got my latest interview over there. Shout out to all the mods and the mod squad, man. Shout out to everybody who was on my live last night. It was lit. Nene birthday tomorrow, man. Tonight, putting up that cash out. Man, make sure y'all bless Nene just like y'all bless me. Because Nene the one reason why this channel is going and keep on going and turning over. She do it. She motivate me to keep on getting up every day and stay on it. You know what I'm talking about? And she do the editing. And that's my right hand. So I'm finna put her cash app up there. It's her birthday at midnight. Make sure y'all start hitting up paper. You want to support me? Go to Nene Marie 37 on IG and purchase a signed copy of my book. That's how you support me. Make sure you smash that like button. Go right now and follow me on TikTok at Trenches News 3837. That's my only TikTok. Yo, it's your boy Trenches News, and I'm back at y'all with another one. Appreciate all the support. Thanks for everyone who's subscribed to the channel. If you ain't subbed to my channel, make sure you do. Make sure you join the membership. Shout out to all my mods. If you ain't follow my mods, you can follow their ads at the end of the video. Remember, if you got anything extra, I said extra, not food, hygiene, clothes, bag it up, take it outside and give it to the less fortunate. Remember, we all one step away from being homeless. I don't care how much money you got or you think you got. Mother Nature could come and destroy everything, and now you homeless. So make sure you get back. With that being said, let's say the kids, the women, the elderly, the neutrons, and the civilians. It's Thursday, y'all. Make sure you keep your head on the swivel. Remember, CPD can't save you or your local police department, so make sure you know where your kids are and your surroundings. If you got kids out there, nieces and nephews, claiming hats, dissing the dead, woofing on the internet, make sure you get life insurance on them so you can bury them properly and won't have to go fund me. All right, y'all, I got two stories for y'all. We talking about Lil Durk. The judge wanted him broke in order to go home, man, so he won't have no money to use in his influence. We're going to talk about that, and we talking about King AK-47 responded to the video of Seti Nash saying that he was a crisis actor. He pissed about him lying. Make sure y'all smash that like button so this video can get around. If you got Twitter, TikTok, Reddit, Twitch, Facebook Market, Bezu, hook it up. All right, so we starting off with Lil Durk first, man. The judge wanted Lil Durk broke. Lil Durk tried to give up a little money. He was penny pinching. He didn't know that the feds, the IRS, and all them guys are together. So when he tried to give up $5 million, they like, nah, he got 40 more. We need to take everything. And I don't think Drew was understanding that they wanted him to fork over everything so he won't be able to do nothing. Like, they didn't want him to go to shows after that. That's would have been his stipulation. No shows, no movement. He would have been on house arrest until it was over with, until the trial was over with, because they knew that he was going to run. But by him not having proper security, you know, they already told him that you can't have your homies doing security or none of that. You got to get some type of federal security. You know what I'm talking about? That going to sign the contract with the feds to guarantee that you gonna make it to court and that you ain't going nowhere. So the judge wanted Lil Durk to fork over everything he got. His trucks, his money, rap money. You know, I don't know if he wanted the rent money too, how he's gonna pay his bills, but he didn't want him with the money, you know, so he will be able to use his influence and to put money out on people or sway the people not to come to court, pay him off, and all that good shit, man. So the judge, he had said no. But Lil Durk and Drew Finland, I'm saying, you know what I'm talking about, talking to people, and they saying that Lil Durk is going to try to buck for the higher court. You know, he just can't accept, no, man, when you got money, it ain't like the normal shit. It ain't like you could just sit down and just ball up. He got money, so he finna try to go all the way with it, man. But that's what I got on Lil Durk for y'all. And y'all get in the comments and let me know what y'all think. Next story I got. We talking about Seti Hash Brown himself. Fake old gangster 6 old Crip. Waited to Big U and Brick Baby them go to bring Lil Woody to the hood, you know? And Sadie Nash lied about some things, man. And like I told y'all, I don't report about dude. But he went on interviews, big platforms, 100Ks, and to still talking about me and on his platform. So I will keep on dropping content on his ass now. That he in the spotlight. See, nobody loves the spotlight. Everybody love to, laugh at everybody else. But when the spotlight on you, you try to dodge it. So, King AK-47. Now, he was around when Sadie Nash told us the story about the boom, boom, boom. Sadie Nash did not say that he was no crisis actor, none of that. He said that actually the white guy was his friend, as if he was one of his peers that went to school with him. When the white guy like 30 years older than Sadie Nash. That's where the first lie kick in at. And then Sadie Nash, he claims that, the favor, but really he went on no jumper and slipped up. See, when you lie, you got to tell another lie. So he went on no jumper and said that he was a crisis actor and he got paid. Well, I got one question for you, Sadie Nash, because that's the only acting job that we seen you do. Did you quit after that job that you got paid, or what the rest of the acting at? Like, you try to overtalk people, you try to bully people, and then the first thing you try to do is you try to size people up, what size they is. And they can't beat you and all that, man. Look, all that tough shit out the window, brother. You know what you did. So, King AK-47 reacted to it. I'm finna play this video. AK, he called it out like it is, man. He ain't never told him about no story, because that's when you lie, you got to keep on coming up with a lie. And 607 destroyed him. Told him you ain't no crip or none of that, He just a wannabe, man. I hate people who wait till they get older to want to be gang members, or you all the way from somewhere else and want to be a part of some other shit. Like, that's just crazy, man. But I'm finna play this video, then I'm gonna get back to y'all.
Some witnesses about what they heard. They said they heard an argument just before the shooting. When you heard the argument, was it a long argument? Was it just short? Did it seem like they knew each other?
It was static. And his friend was like, he not even a part of this. He not a part of this. And
boom, boom, boom.
Boom, boom, boom.
This weekend, we saw YouTuber Sadie Nash bring Little Woody, a.k.a. Lil Woody, a.k.a. YS.
Why the fuck is my chair going back that far? And it ain't coming back up. I'd have broke my damn chair again.
YSL Woody to the Rolling 60s, and you saw a video of some members being very, very excited for Lil Woody to be there. And then I think there was a reaction because they started to read comments that basically said, hey, yo, why are you bringing somebody who snitched to the hood? Today, we actually saw Sadie Nash release an apology video for bringing Woody to the hood, which a lot of people think is kind of wild because that's his boy, that's his friend. But apparently there was a lot of pressure put on Sadie Nash to apologize for this. I guess I'll go straight to Aunt Hefe and ask him, what was your first thought when you saw that Little Woody was being welcomed in the trenches?
Yeah, when I seen that, I was kind of confused, right? But I kind of understand things on a different level. Like, out here in these streets, like, dudes gonna portray one way. Like, dudes don't be keeping it 100. These type of dudes in everybody hood, dudes that's on some type of paperwork, dudes that made some type of statement. In Lil Woody case, he made some statements, you know what I'm saying? Then he got up on the stand, you feel me, and tried to recant it. And I kind of like threw the trial, and got arrested and all that stuff. So it's like, I guess some people kind of feel like it was 50-50. But within all that, like, we got to get to the fact, something that I didn't know that's been floating around for some time. Sadie Nash got a video with him talking on the news, talking about a crime. So it's like, why was it so? It's like, so I'm not trying to point that out, but it's just like, you can't even like coincide one with the other. So it's just like, I don't know if
breaking news on No Jumper News. We got A Hefe.
No, for real, no.
Sadie Nash and it got on the news and committed and reported a crime.
We ain't gonna do that because I don't play like that because I don't want niggas to try to fix the A-Train 60 thing on some real street shit.
Shit.
Like,
remember this was years ago.
Like that was crazy. So like, it was just like, I don't know if people ain't seen that because it was like, he shouldn't even been welcome.
My thing is,
They didn't do that while he was there. They wait till you leave it, then they do it. When they was there, everybody was happy because Woody is famous. Listen, he not really even a snitch. He's like a half snitch. He finessed the police, gang. He finessed everybody. He just finessed the situation.
Ain't no such thing as a half.
He didn't go all the way in. Did he always snitch? No.
Yeah, he was in a.
I mean, all it takes is once.
No, he didn't always snitch. He kind of like
That's like
finessed him.
that's like if you like
In the streets, you gotta be disloyal.
If you do with some weird with the kid, you're that forever.
Yeah, but in the
If you
streets, you're supposed to be disloyal though.
Ain't no
Like,
such thing as no half snitch, bro.
Yeah.
ain't no such thing as a loyal person in the street.
Listen, man, you a grown ass man.
That was a real
you
news
could
channel.
One mic. Let's bring it all together.
And
Donnie is talking off camera without a mic, and you have a mic. Like we could get Donnie in here if you want to say something, but we got to do one mic here. Yeah.
That's all good.
I mean, he's saying off Mike that said he last explained that situation here at No Jumper.
I do remember that, but I don't remember
saying
exactly
that was
what
like
was
a
said,
homie.
yeah.
Like that looked like that was the news.
Oh no! Yeah, he talked about it on the news after the fact.
I ain't like that news shit neither.
Think should I call up City Nash and get an official
I mean,
statement?
yeah.
It's been years since we analyzed this. His
Oh yeah, I'm
get
just saying
old.
I don't want to be putting no jackets on nobody that don't belong. Like that shit looked like he was on like Channel 7 News, like getting like the news reporter asking him about a crime, and he like, yeah, this happened. Like
he told
And so
names
for
and
clarity,
stuff like
there's
that.
supposed to be no media.
Did he tell names and stuff like that? One thing about street, it's against the street code to even be on the podcast talking.
no, it ain't. Can you pull it up?
In reality, they gonna say it's a snitch. If they on the podcast, you a snitch in the streets. That's what they say.
I just want to show people what I'm talking about.
The streets say anybody on the podcast is a snitch because we talking about street.
Yeah.
607 up ain't lying. I'd have been called a snitch, and I'd be like, damn, what paper have I ever been in? What nigga have I ever got locked up? Nothing. But Unc ain't lying. They say podcasters are snitch, like that do what we do, just talk.
Some rules they making up.
That's what the streets say.
About that shit. I did jail half of my life and they never told on
Me
shit.
too.
Had a code that fit it down every time. So I don't give a what the streets talking about. Oh, if you get on a podcast and say this, suck my dick. Like I ain't never told.
But hold on. If you get on a podcast and you say incriminating information, that is snitching.
Yeah.
You feel me?
But
Like,
bottom line,
never
if
said
Woody-
he said being on a podcast, period.
no, that's not. But I'm saying you can be on a podcast.
It's just, hey, hold on, not to derail.
I'm not
I think
saying
Brandon
that.
just got me in trouble because I just got an alert that Hater Road just tagged me in something. So I said something about you on the devil, nigga. So he might be tripping on me. But keep going.
Hey, but Hater World. But honestly,
Another Mexican for you.
So if you got him on me, you really got to catch
Another essay for you.
The Mexican people who are smart, they understand where I'm coming from. So I ain't tripping.
You knew who
but
it was.
the thing,
You tough.
hey, the
Look, Hater World made a post. Is Adam 22 trying to start a gang war?
a gang war.
So that's what I got tagged in.
I'm just probably. Oh, we got City Nash.
No, listen, nobody trying to start a gang war. The streets are starting a gang war
City
on their
Nash.
own.
Hey, this is the prelim to the DP. We talking about you and that. Okay, so basically the topic was raised of you previously talking on the news about some kind of criminal thing. It's been years. I don't remember what the story was, and I wanted to give you a chance to respond or state what happened and why that's not snitching.
Was that a news?
Adam messy.
Why don't you please say,
Adam messy as hell.
was that the news or was it no?
He messy as fuck.
That was what?
He said, "What's thugging?"
What's thugging?
That's my slang. Let's do it this way real quick. We go up. Hey.
Wait,
Yay or nay?
what'd you say?
Everything go up paperwork, right? Yay or nay?
Yeah.
Everything what?
You can Google that paperwork. Nobody was even there. This was a disagreement between two people. I got paid to say that. That's what Christ is asking look like.
You get paid to snitch?
And look at where everything else is at. I'm way down the street. I don't know what the hell happened.
Oh my God.
He said he was a crisis actor and he was paid to make a
snitch.
statement.
No, he's paid to
on
snitch.
the news, basically.
He was paid to snitch.
Well,
Go on paperwork. If you listen to the conversation, I'm being led in that conversation.
Oh, he get paid to snitch, gang. You right. So why would he get kicked off then? If he agreed, he getting paid to snitch.
Can we pull this clip up? That's all I'm on.
Well, you know,
I
clip,
don't
he
even
just
know
said
crisis acting was a real
That's
thing.
what I was about to say.
Said he told me he was doing that shit for his friend. He ain't never say he was paid to do that though. Why you all make me play this video right here?
Why are you making me listen to that video? Oh, check that little guy out. Oh. What the heck's that stuff keeps showing up on mine? It's like my feed is That's a different little guy. Why is this Ark surviving guy, Big Kenny? Like, oh, prescribed.
Can you tell which app is a trap? Google Play can. Download apps, not traps.
I've moved 23 times in my life, and one of the best pieces of advice I have is you gotta protect your stuff. Make sure on moving day
In mind.
Welcome back, everyone. It's Charlie. Variety recently posted an article. Thunderbolts lost millions